Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe
Somewhere.
your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. Isolation. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Beyond the watch, there are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Beyond the watch, the gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life, sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way.
ba bum bum with the gold robe on, and the show's on, and the show's live. Can you hear me? Who's got the mics?
Yeah.
You can hear all of us?
Yep.
All right. We got one viewer, Bill Brown. Sitting next to me is our only viewer.
Shows me too. No, that must be me and you.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Behind the scenes, Instagram is live. Is that your personal page? Or the show
no.
page? Cream. Shout out to Cream Team Hefe. That's my guy. You want to give some shout outs? I don't know who's on there.
Your girl's on here. Andy Baines,
Shout out to the princess.
aka Real One.
Do 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 do. Little Game of Thrones build-up theme for the topic discussion.
Danielle Labrisi.
It's a great time to adjust the mic. What are you trying to do?
I was trying to pull it closer, but I'll just lean up.
You can see. You can scoot your chair maybe like an inch.
That's fine.
Behind the scenes, Bill is in the building.
Yo. Are you watching? Yeah.
Just taking phone calls in the middle of the show.
We were just taking calls. We got a call line is on.
Hey,
My boy
I
Dead
know.
Man's watching.
Hey, I gotta. We're filming though. I just want to say what's up.
Hey, we're live. Hey.
And we're back.
We're just
I'm not feeling
fucking-
too hot, man. I gotta admit,
We're
I feel
just
like
phoning it
shit
in this
right
week,
now.
boys, ladies, and gentlemen.
I feel typically back in the days when you would definitely take 3 blues. God. Call Jamie Berman and end it.
That I used to
Dad, you gotta check out that
many
new
when I was
Alcatraz
feeling
movie.
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
It's pretty sick.
bro, sick.
The close quarters is sick.
Ooh, try Christmas morning.
When are you getting off work, by the way?
Ugh.
Hungover too. Oh, I ever got hungover. Oh, handfuls. That's one thing I don't miss about drinking is the fucking handfuls.
It's the fuckity fuck show that comes afterwards. Make sure that AC's on, bro. It's too hot.
Are we ready? Dude, I'm
Yeah, we're
sweating.
ready. We're ready.
I got a big confession to make.
Go ahead.
We're all
Just
waiting.
talking shit.
All right, so thank you all for tuning in, everyone behind the scenes on Instagram. Thank you for the support. If you guys want to catch the live show and figure out what the green screens are for, we're live on YouTube and Facebook right now, both Lost in the Sauce show. As is tradition here at Lost in the Sauce, we're gonna do a quick 15 seconds. See, I've been breaking it down from 30 seconds to just 15 crucial seconds to get centered. A quick meditation. If you feel free to join us if you want. If not, we will see you shortly. Well, I mean, we're not going anywhere visually, but in our minds, we'll be far, far away. How you guys feeling?
Like shit.
I'm axing these headphones, ladies and gentlemen. Axing
They're
them.
making you hot?
Can't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah, good.
Hopefully you guys can hear us. Let's go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And we are live. Lost in the Sauce show week. Who knows? I lost count 3 months ago. Probably week 12. Let's go with week 12. I am your host, Ryan Andrew Rhodes, aka Killshot California. And ladies and gentlemen, by popular demand, as you can see on the screen, front and center, I have 2 lovely co-hosts in the building. I'm going to start off. You know him. He's number 2 on the show, but number 1 in your hearts. Chris Shabo Jones gets better looking, more trim, more committed, dominating week in, week out. Chris Shabo Jones, how you feeling, brother?
I'm not feeling that great, but I'm happy to be here, and happy that we have Bill here. I'm gonna grill you tonight.
Thank you for ruining my intro. For those of you who have watched the show week in and week out, ladies and gentlemen, you know him as behind the scenes Bill. He is front and centered, framed up on camera today. You know him as behind the scenes Bill, but today he's in front of the camera Bill. Everybody, let's say hello behind the scenes Bill.
This guy built a fort in his backyard to do drugs.
Not the first to do it.
No.
Won't be the last.
Yeah.
The last for sure.
And he had alarm bells to alert him of,
Booby
of
traps.
his wife.
How you feeling, Bill?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
You excited? You look less nervous this week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
You're
The
just-
camera's loving me tonight.
It's
I think.
just old hat. I could do.
So-
Honestly, you're very crisp right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
Although
good.
I'm losing your left shoulder, which would be your right shoulder, our left as the audience, you're looking real crisp.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Before we started, shout out to everyone. If you guys want to like, comment, subscribe, you got questions, all that stuff, feel free to submit. We had some really good submissions last week. They were done anonymously. We did a lot of really good work off of camera, which is really, really cool to see people engaging in the show and being able to take something positive, even if it's just getting some feedback about a personal situation that you guys are dealing with. So we love it. We love it. We love it. Thank you guys for your continued support. All 3 or 4 viewers we got. Shout out to my boy Ben, my boy Hunter Harden. We know him as Dead Man. Let me know when you get off work so we can run on some blackout. But with that being said, we got a couple interesting topics laid out for tonight's show. But before that, let's get into our weekend check-in. And how was everybody's weekend? Chris, how about you? How was your weekend, brother?
It was good. I got to hang out with my stepbrother. I've seen him like 4 times in 15 years. So I did that Thursday, and then I went down to Orange County. Came back yesterday.
Saw the family.
Yeah.
You get in the water?
Yeah, I did.
Swell
I didn't
down
surf.
there?
It just got out there. It was 59 degrees.
59, right? Yeah, I looked at it. It's
So I jumped
freezing.
out there.
Absolutely
Yeah, it was
freezing.
cool.
Bill, wow, we saw each other quite a bit this weekend.
Yeah,
How
it
was
was a
your
good weekend.
Yeah, how was your weekend?
Got some golf in. That was always fun as usual.
Did you play? You didn't play Saturday, right?
Yeah,
we
I
played
played
Saturday after
yeah.
3, and then we played Sunday again. Did we?
No,
You went
we
on the
didn't.
outing.
The
right?
outing.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, well, you'll talk about it too. We did a nice little hike. You actually did the hike. We did the hike together
Oh, yeah?
up to Malibu
nice.
Creek, and
Okay.
then did some cliff diving.
Nice.
Or
Yeah, the
jumping.
cliff jumping or whatever.
Cool.
Only me and Ryan did, but the water was freaking cold.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. It was like manageably cold, but like still kind of an annoying cold.
Yeah.
It
But-
wasn't. It was bad when I jumped in. Is when my body kind of went. Like,
Well, it's good because you jump right in,
Yeah.
so there's no like pussyfooting around.
Yeah, after
and, like,
skydiving, I can do anything. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the cold water was,
Yeah.
I just did 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
boom, I'm in the water.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought up skydiving.
Yeah.
We're going again
Yeah.
soon.
I won't be there. There's no
So what are we?
there's no
April?
shot.
What is it? April 10th or whatever the hell the day is.
Yeah.
8th today. I got to get back out there in the next 30, 40 days. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna probably get a second group. I know Bill's in. I might get Jason and a couple others to go.
Okay.
If you want to come support.
Maybe I'll come to support, but
Yeah.
I'm not jumping out. of a
Yeah, and
plane.
anyone else who's out there who's local,
There's
California, if you guys want to go, we're gonna go back skydiving again. My deadline is Cinco de Mayo, so I have to get
Okay.
in the air before May 6th, May 5th. Cinco. Oh, I'll blow this. But yeah, my weekend was great. Thank you guys for asking.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No
Weekend
one
was
gives a
good.
fuck.
The robe is good. I'm feeling my win spa robe, gold. Like you called me Little Hugh Hef. I wanted to say Hef Jr., maybe a younger Hugh Hef. I'm pretty sure I'm taller than Hugh Hefner. I mean, I don't know how tall he was, but Little kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's all right. I
Sorry about that.
appreciate the shout out. So we're sat and robed up. Weekend was good. The cliff jumping was good. I was kind of like on the fence, and then Bill's like, "Oh, let's go." We didn't really know what we wanted to do. We've kind of done so many different activities on the weekends, and he was like, "Let's go cliff jumping." I was like, "You know, that kind of sounds fucking dope."
Yeah.
As long as the hike isn't bad, and the hike was great. It
And
was
where
like
do you do that so people know where to go?
Malibu Creek National Park, I think is
Okay.
the name of
Yeah.
it. Off of what was our Las Virgenes was
Las
our exit.
Virgenes, yeah. Right
Yeah.
past Mulholland.
Yeah. Which is a nice, fun little cheap date if you want to do like a date
Yeah.
thing. There was
Yeah.
like people out there. I thought it was going to be exclusive, like it was just going to be like our group. but it was like a bunch of different types of people out there. You
Yeah.
had someone with the music playing.
Good luck finding a girl that wants to jump into 59-degree water
Yeah.
in April.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now-
it'll warm up. But it was cool. It was a cool scene, and I could see it being like an enjoyable. You get the hike in, you get a little hike, you get the
Yeah.
water going. As far as exploring the area, there's some really cool little neat caves, and there's people rock climbing, and pretty fun and affordable. I think all we paid for was parking for the
really
entire
green
day.
right now
was-
from all the rain.
was like
really
$12.
green and beautiful.
yeah,
And they have burnt trees right now with these
Yeah.
crazy
Malibu
holes in
fires
them.
and-
Like, yeah, really nice hike.
yeah, it was cool. And not my typical. I'm not like a hiker guy. I've lived in LA for 5 years now, I think, and I still haven't done Runyon ever. And I have like no desire to go to hike Runyon Canyon.
It's kind of like going to like a club that everyone goes to.
Yeah, I get.
You know what I mean? Like it's packed.
Is it about the picture?
It's
at
hard
the
to get a
top?
drink.
You know what I mean? It's like about the picture at the
Yeah,
top. Really. It's
everyone's
not
on their
even
cell
about
phone.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like like the matching yoga fit.
exactly.
And the fitness attire.
It's kind of basic, but it's cool.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should do it.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do it. I did all the like the tourism, the Wax Museum, Ripley's Believe It or Not, the Guinness World Records, all that stuff on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like Hollywood and Highland. There's
High
like
or sober?
no, sober.
Oh, okay.
I put like a tourist, like you live in LA, but like go do what the tourists
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean? Like check out all the little sights and scenes.
Yeah. Big tip in New York City to do, which a lot of locals will tell people that are visiting to do, is take the red bus, that corny red bus, because you get to see the whole city in like
Yeah,
2 days.
yeah.
Same thing.
It's a double decker one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of
You can hop on, hop off, and like if you have a day to see New York City, get on the red bus.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
So weekend was good. Excited for this weekend. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're following along. It's Game of Thrones. Is it season 8 final? The final season,
final season.
seven or 8,
Seven.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? Premiere is this Sunday, the 14th, I believe it is.
14th
The
it
14th of this Sunday. I'm fucking amped. I don't know. Are you guys Game of Thrones fans?
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Huge.
Huge? Like
Huge.
just got into it now, or like from the get?
To the point where I'll rewatch before this Sunday the last few episodes.
Of season 7 or
season,
6.
yeah.
or
I
whatever.
just
the
watched
last
all
season.
of them all over again.
Yeah.
Last month.
I did that last month
Yeah.
too. I started. I want to like you did. I want to rewatch
Yeah.
the recent ones.
I'm
just to
not
get me
dressing
caught
up like, like
Dude, if-
characters and throwing Game of
Bro,
Thrones parties. Or anything
I
like
mean,
that.
there's probably no excuse for it because it's LA. I could probably find somewhere, but I most
Yeah.
absolutely would dress up. Like if I knew where to go get the whole the freaking Night's Watch with the fucking all
Yeah.
that going, like
Coat.
100%.
And it's the one thing cool about not being on drugs anymore is you can go back to shows, and because we watch them typically on Blues, you thought you were capturing everything in the moment, but you actually there's a lot going on that you
Mhm.
probably missed. So like I get to go back and enjoy it even more.
You know what's funny? I got into like a Nicktoons thing. So I usually put something on for my cat when I leave just to keep her sort of engaged, and I've been putting on Nicktoons. So it's like SpongeBob and fucking like Dexter's Laboratory and like these old what's that? Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy Turner and the little fucking all this little cartoon shit. And I never actually watched. I never watched SpongeBob as a kid. I kind of missed that as far as age wise.
Yeah, I never saw SpongeBob.
So I'll come home from work and I'll have Nicktoons playing and I'll kind of just like sit down and have my food and like been watching a bunch of cartoons, which is it's kind of cool to sort of connect to that childhood
Yeah.
sort of aspect of it. I don't know, kind of maybe reliving a missed. My childhood was kind of crazy.
Missed, I like that.
A missed opportunity.
Living. Oh, okay. I
You know
think
what I
like a mist, like rain mist.
No, like I missed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
you know, and all that, but there was a lot of crazy shit going on in my childhood, as far as what was going on with me, the family, dad, all that stuff, that you miss a lot of
Yeah.
like childlike moments, you
Yeah.
know, where you're supposed to like, oh, Saturday cartoons, let's get up early and watch fucking bullshit.
Did you guys go bag snatching on Halloween?
Never.
Really?
No, we did eggs and paintball guns.
That was wild.
Older. We didn't steal candy.
Yeah,
I
we would
did.
go out with the intent, and this is a suburb, to go out and snatch bags from kids that like towards the end of the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and then it was kind of a part of culture growing up because our bags were snatched,
Mhm.
so
You just-
we couldn't wait to
to
be old
snatch some
enough to
bags.
snatch bags.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Did you guys have mischief night out here?
What's mischief night?
The
Like,
night before Halloween, you toilet
Mm-mm.
paper the whole town.
mm-mm.
That was
No.
wild.
We did that on Halloween. So as a
Okay.
little kid, it was trick or treating and all that stuff. But instead of the bag snatching, our thing was just on Halloween. As
Yeah.
a teenager, it was just nonstop shaving cream, eggs, paintball guns, And for whatever reason, our neighborhood was like the neighborhood to do it, the Port Streets. But the cops, like the last couple of years,
the game.
they really cracked down. Like, they freaking
brought
in floodlights. They brought in like massive amounts of cops, and it was like sort of the fun was over at that point.
Yeah.
I
I know, off topic, but was the movie The Program, really big for you?
God.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Bro,
Right?
I love The Program.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows, The Program is a football movie, and I think it's fictitiously based off Florida State Seminoles.
Yeah.
I think what's his name, Wood, the main running back. He's in a lot of stuff. He's
my
in
God,
like
he's the best.
He's in like the Boys.
Good looking.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Fucking, I forget his name.
He looks like the coach from the Steelers. I don't
yeah.
know why I can't think of his name.
And the coach. Who's
Do you
the coach?
remember the scene? So
Kane, not Michael Caine. Anyway, my dad, I was all football. He was my coach and this and that, and like that was just.
Let me ask you a question. Do you remember there was a scene where they laid under the cars or the railroad tracks, and then it was taken out because kids were dying because they were trying to do it? Remember hearing about it?
Bro,
that was a big deal.
The quarterback was going through a lot of shit in that movie.
Yeah.
He had all the drug addiction or alcohol DUI with the motorcycle. He gets on like oxys or pain meds, goes to rehab, comes out, and like get into a bowl game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it was nuts. So the Game of Thrones thing is obviously huge center point. It's not the meat of the show, but we sort of wanted to sort of put it out there as our top 3 shows of all time. For me, number 1, this is not just because it's coming up, is Game of Thrones. The
number 1 of all time.
The production quality, if you just look at budget to budget, just to break it down monetarily, there are single scenes, 2-minute clips of Game of Thrones that cost more than entire seasons of really good shows. I think this season's budget was over 100 million. I think the last couple have been over 100 million. But just single battles that take place are cost more than entire shows. Game of
Thrones 1, okay.
Yeah, number 1. Do you have a number 1 picked out? The Wire's up there. I know The Wire's up. As far
for me,
as
for me it goes
realism.
between True Detective and The Wire.
First season True Detective.
I think I have to go number 1 because of Stringer Bell, Avon Barksdale. I have to go The Wire.
Yeah,
1
number 1
for me.
What about you? Behind the scenes, Bill.
Number 1,
Marlowe.
No, I think number 1 show I was totally into besides Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is my number 1 also.
I think.
But it's between that and Sopranos.
Bill with the West Coast love.
Yeah,
Wow, I wouldn't take you for a Sopranos guy.
I love Sopranos.
Sopranos
Really?
is up there.
Did you love Christopher Moltisanti?
I loved him.
God, he was everything.
Sopranos, and this might be an interesting to get your guys' perspective.
It's weird how you guys say Sopranos, by the way.
Must have Sopranos.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting. Sopranos.
I just picked it up from what he said, but I don't know if like out there in the world, if I was to just come up candidly, how I would pronounce it.
Yeah.
I always said Sopranos.
Sopranos for me doesn't even break my top 3.
Really?
Yeah. And I get a lot of flack for that. Also, doesn't break my top 3 is Breaking Bad. Now, Breaking Bad this is the greatest show of all. Sons of Anarchy also doesn't break my top 3.
That was stupid.
There's something about the writing and the execution of the writing. A lot of the main characters for me just felt really flat in Sons of Anarchy. Couldn't even tell you the main guy, the blonde-haired fucking heartthrob. He's the leader of the fucking bike gang. Whatever his name is. And he is such a terrible actor.
That's what I watched a couple episodes.
The tertiary characters, the drama, the writing of Sons of Anarchy is really fucking good. But our lead cannot hold his own. He does not have the chops. He's the same guy who was in the first Pacific Rim. If you've seen the first Pacific Rim, don't waste your fucking time. I can't even believe they got greenlit for a second one. In my opinion,
he wasn't in it.
No, he wasn't, and he was also in the Knights, the King Arthur, which tanked.
Movie.
Also,
Yeah,
the guy's
horrible.
fucking terrible actor. Great looking guy. If I was a woman, I'd definitely have sex with him. But he is a terrible actor, and for me, that game, Sons of Anarchy, just completely fell flat.
Yeah.
Now, Breaking Bad, this is the best show ever, and I got into it late. After the hype, everyone's like, "Yo, you have to watch the show. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good." I literally got through 4 seasons waiting for that moment where I'm going to be like, "Oh,
see, I thought at 2 it got good.
This is so good." But to me, the cinematic arc of the show, right? We're in trouble. We need money. Make drugs, sell drugs to get money. Oh wait, we're in trouble again. Make drugs, sell drugs, get money. That whole thing was so repetitive It was like, oh, now we're gonna walk away. No, we got in some trouble again.
Yeah, you
Time
gotta
to
get
go
the money.
back.
You gotta get out of the game.
It's just sort of this
Always.
revolving storyline with different faces and names that just grew really old to me. And I gave it a fucking college try, bro. I got it through 4 seasons, and I was like, this is I turned it off. I was like, this is fucking stupid. What a waste of time. I mean, I'm sure it has its moments. I heard the end is really good.
It was good.
Like where he dies and Walter White and all that shit.
Well, you don't know if he died.
All right, what's 2?
Number 2.
So one's Game of Thrones.
Man, it's gotta.
I feel like you're caught up in the Game of Thrones hype, though. Is that skewing you? Like it's on Sunday?
No.
Okay.
And I've used this argument.
Yeah,
we
you're
probably
big in
talked about it
production.
off camera.
Your
and
boy,
stuff.
did you see that guy
100%
Kit
number
shaved
1.
his beard?
Kit Harington.
Yeah.
The main
Jon Snow?
Yeah, Jon Snow. I gotta go. Fuck, this is such a tough call, but it's either Rick and Morty or Archer. 2
Rick and Morty
comedic
or Archer?
cartoons. Yeah.
Wow, those
And-
are horrible.
Yeah,
picks.
see, and those are those are 2 that are so near and dear to me.
Yeah.
And it's not a drama. It's a
I think you
comedy.
would say like Magnum PI.
I mean, you could argue like the
Or the
Simpsons
808,
is up there,
the
but the
18.
Simpsons has been around for so long, or even like Seinfeld, like Game Breaker. But yeah, those are more of an obscure. If you are into sci-fi at all and animation, it's not everyone's bag. Not everyone likes Family Guy. Not everyone likes South Park. South Park is arguably one of the greatest comedic executions as far as animation, and there's been in a really long time. As far as their ability to stay current with pop culture, and I mean they make those episodes on the fly once a week. Like when Sunday comes, or I think it airs on a Wednesday. When Thursday comes, like they're in there in the fucking green room, the drawing board, fucking getting at it for next week, and like staying on topic, which I think is
Just
really
like
difficult to do.
Yeah.
To also then animate all of that as well is pretty impressive. They had the whole presidential thing on there. They had Hillary in there. They had Trump in there, and trying to figure out who was going to win. Like you didn't know where the series was going to go because in real life we had no idea where the election was going to go.
Yeah.
And for them to sort of stay on that, and I thought it was a brilliant execution.
Where are you at with 2? Say Sopranos 1, 2, and 3, and you can come to New Jersey at any fucking point in time.
Probably my third favorite. Well, Game of Thrones is my favorite by far.
You just said
I mean,
Sopranos.
no, I said Sopranos or Game of Thrones. One
Okay.
or 2. I don't know which way to put them. And then, oh gosh, what I just American Horror Story is my third.
Wow.
I would have not expected that.
Damn.
I would not have expected that.
Are you saying that because your wife likes it?
Love American Horror Story. I can't wait for them to make more.
What about you? Did you say 2?
2, I'd have to go Sopranos.
Basically, anything HBO does or touches is
Yeah.
fucking gold. Like to be able to,
Oh, that's, is
Sh-
it
I think that's
Shameless?
Cinemax or Showtime.
That's a great show too.
Shameless is good. I got through 2 seasons, kind of fell flat. But bro, I mean, Deadwood, Boardwalk Empire, fucking True
Boardwalk Empire
True
was
Detective, like obviously the big ones, Sopranos, Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
even the first season of Westworld
Yeah,
was like
see, that's
amazing.
A problem, is
You know what I mean? Like
I'll go Game of
Westworld,
Thrones
first season
3.
was great. Same with True Detective. First season was great, but then they fall apart.
mhm.
I'm talking about lasting power. So
Longevity.
you have to have some lasting
Yeah,
power.
give me some longevity. No comedies in your top 3 for either of you. No Seinfeld.
No, I was
Seinfeld. I mean, every
thinking
Thursday
maybe-
night, my family gathered around and watched Seinfeld. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a
I
part
was
of
thinking
culture.
maybe the Bundys. You guys probably don't care about it. I
Married
used
with
to-
Children.
Married with Children, bro. Loved it.
The Bundys. He didn't even
Yeah,
know the
B.
real
Sterling.
name of the
B.
show.
Sterling.
Yeah, I grew up on Married with Children. It came on right
You got
after.
people shouting out
The
Arrested
Simpsons.
Development. Didn't they cancel that trash?
No, Arrested Development's a great show,
I'm just joking.
and I think I know who probably shouted that out. I can't see that far under the screen, but I know who it is. My man Carlos, I think that's one of your buddies, says American Horror Story is up there. Let's see who else is on here. Game of Thrones.
What about, can we shout out 60 Minutes as a kid when you heard that ticking on a Sunday night, the anxiety that you got? Did you ever go through that? Like you were at home Sunday night before school starts and you hear that clock of 60 minutes before, and you know, like, that's it. It's fucking bedtime and you have to go to school on Monday. Did you guys go through that?
Mm-mm.
No,
Wow.
Couldn't stand 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you were a kid, you couldn't. Now I love it. But when you heard that tick, 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 tick,
It
and
gave
you
me
knew
anxiety.
the weekend was over.
Yeah, it gave me
Yeah,
anxiety.
that's what I'm saying.
You're right. It was
Right?
fucking Sunday.
Yes.
Homework I hadn't done yet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck. I
You
gotta
heard
start.
that? It was like,
9
yo, it's
p.m. or
done.
something. I was like, oh shit.
It's fucking done.
Yeah, it's a wrap. You know, before we get into
Right?
the
I'm older than you guys, so I had to get up and change the channel at that
Yeah.
point. I don't even know if 60 Minutes was on.
What about?
Did you have the clicker box? Like
Oh, yeah.
with the wire and the clicker?
Yeah.
That thing was crazy. When you got a crazy clicker person,
Then
like it was like you're clicking, and sometimes you had to hit 2 at once to get one to
we
work.
had to do a lot of.
But you could get that spice.
Oh yeah. Oh, bro, the black box.
Yeah.
You get it all.
You get that spice.
Oh yeah, Space Channel was.
You ever tried to
Spice Channel.
jerking off to squiggly shit?
Oh, I have
Yeah.
1,000 times, bro. I see.
You'd have your cousin in the back of the
every-
TV with the box, like trying to rig it. You're like, yeah, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's when you had to earn shit.
Oh,
That's when you had to
You
earn
had
it.
to earn porn.
I literally would watch a Spanish channel.
Oh
because they
my
would give
God,
you hot
Spanish
shits
channel. Bro.
every time.
What about Richard Bay? Do you remember? We used to call out. We used to call out of school to jerk off to Richard Bay, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was a print
I think-
media guy personally.
What was it?
Like print media, man. Victoria's Secret catalog,
Oh, we
Purchase
had
of Hollywood.
stashes of
You
those.
know what I mean?
Yeah, we
Shit
had
like
tree
that.
forts with print media. In it.
Yeah.
Like we had a fort
Yeah.
that
This
was
is before
built.
the internet, of course. Once
Yeah,
the
this is-
internet came around,
I was
it
12 years
game
old.
over.
Shout out to God bless Jay, and we had a fort, Greg Hilliard, and we'd meet up, and we'd be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And we would just like, "This is a
This is
porno
the
mag.
new. This is the new.
Now whip out your dick
Oh,
and
yeah.
jerk off." And you'd be in a tree fort, like, fuck. You had to earn that.
Now it's like nowadays
man.
I'm fucking.
No, now they knocked the tree fort down and built a beautiful home there, I believe.
So my boy Carlos.
3rd Street, Robinson.
Shout out Carlos for the comment. I think he's one of your friends,
Yeah,
Carlos
boy
Peasant.
Carl.
He brought up First 48. So what about like documentary style? Do you guys have a top 3 documentary style?
Unsolved Mysteries.
So you have like, you know, I mean, it could be crime, but like there's also like The Cosmos was a really good show. You know what I mean? I think Seth MacFarlane even got
March of
into
the
it.
Penguins.
March of the Penguins is more of a film, but
I just want to rattle off gold.
Naked and Afraid right now.
Oh, you're big into that. Are you signing up for that?
Dude, I got to do a few courses. Me and
we've
Ryan
actually
gotta
already
get out
looked into
there
the
and-
courses. Not necessarily naked, but the
Yeah.
afraid
Yeah.
part.
My
Survivalist,
girlfriend's
minimalist
sister
training.
is seriously thinking about doing Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I
Yeah.
totally would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have the skills
I could
yet.
never do that.
Oh, I could. I'd
Yeah.
love it.
Naked
love
and
it.
Afraid is me in my closet in Corona Del Mar faking a suicide.
Looking at a people. Anybody coming?
Kurt
You know?
Control, naked
Yeah.
and afraid.
That's as close as I'm getting.
Yeah, we researched it. We got the whole survivalist,
Yeah.
minimalist training, and
Yeah.
it's all. I want to be able to start fires. I want to be able to build shelters. I want to be able to clean water. I want to be able to find a food source, like the basics. Stay clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Can't wait for that. So stoked.
Yeah, we already got the links.
Are you really doing it?
Oh yeah.
Like
Not the show, but we're gonna
Oh,
go.
the
We're
show,
gonna do
we're
the
gonna go-
training.
Oh, okay.
Once I get
Yeah.
the training done, then yeah, I'll throw in for the show. Hell yeah.
But if you'd be down, if you're down to do the training,
No,
I mean, it'd
no,
be fucking
I'm not
awesome.
down for that.
It's only
I do the training, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you if you didn't want to do it anymore, you could leave.
tap out.
Yeah.
Well, there's ones where you stay overnight, and there's ones where
Yeah.
you like go to a class, and like someone who's a professional like survivor person will like
Yeah.
walk you through the handbook of like, hey, let's practice knots and let's practice shelters.
Dude, I want to go out for like 7 days and us not have anything except for maybe a tent.
I want to be
Maybe a
put in
tent
the
or
shit.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be and deal with it and have
Putting
somebody
into
who knows
shit.
what
Try
they're
going to Dickens every Friday night and Madness on Mondays.
doing.
And Vape Shop on Wednesdays.
Bro.
That's me naked and afraid, motherfuckers.
Bro, Dickens has some really good speakers.
They do, but bro, the first
Monday
time...
Night Madness has some really good speakers.
I agree, I'm not
The
hosing-
energy, you know what I mean?
Ryan, I'm not hosing. I'm just saying when you're first going into this, like me, who's never done it before,
The social thing.
and you realize you're at Dickens on a Friday night and you see the podium and it says AA, you're like, yo, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like you're at Madness on Monday night and people are screaming about don't throw the cigarettes and this and that, and you were like, yo, I used to go to the club on Monday.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened? I'm talking about being naked and afraid.
Yeah, it's a reality
Take me
check.
to court.
Culture shock. Culture shock.
yeah.
Culture shock. I'm not dissing the program,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's wild.
It's a little overwhelming.
When
I
you
will
get up
say.
here and you're away from everyone, like, yo, where am I?
Absolutely. It is a little overwhelming.
I was afraid.
But once you get in the
I
middle
was shook.
and get in the mix and like you enjoy doing
Yeah.
that type of stuff. Going to
My
meetings,
first
seeing
vape meeting, I
everyone.
was very scared, and I met Revenue Hefner.
Red.
and he made me feel comfortable. Shout out to Rev.
Shout out Rev.
Dead serious.
Sorry, just reading some of the comments. All right, so with that being said, no documentaries. We don't want to go into it. First 48's up there. Naked and Afraid's up there. I had a Gold Rush thing. I was into that show Gold Rush.
I was into Gold Rush until
Yeah,
that
man.
young Parker kid started to try and make
Parker
moves and shit.
Schnabel.
Yeah, like you're spending your grandpa's money, dude.
Yeah.
Go back to bed.
Yeah. Take
You
me
know?
to court, Parker.
Yeah,
Schnabel.
take me to court, Parker Schnabel.
There's a show about the family called the Browns. It's called Surviving Alaska. Or something
Alaska
like that.
Bushmen.
Alaska
Oh my-
Bushmen.
yeah.
Now they're in Washington. But yeah, I started kind of getting into that show. Those dudes are fucking hillbillies.
Yeah.
Dude,
There's a
dude has
flying,
chops down here.
There's an
There's-
aviation show out of Alaska.
There
Flying
should be
Alaska or
yeah,
Flying
that's
that
pretty
I
cool.
Really like.
There should be a show on transients pulling scams out in the streets of the valley. That would be cool.
Bro, you know what used to be
Just
good?
call it transients. I love that word, transients. Is that how you say it?
Transient.
Transient.
There's a T at the end of there somewhere.
It's a
I think.
great,
terrible speller. first
great
of all.
word.
Great show though was always Cops.
Like,
Cops
oh, what do
was
you do? I'm a
great
transient.
I
show.
wasn't a big cops guy.
You weren't?
No.
Oh
No,
man,
it
I
gave me
used to love
anxiety,
it.
man. I was breaking the law from a young age. I was like, I
Me
don't
too.
wanna
I'd
do it.
get tips on how not to. I'd kind of look.
Some of
and
the
go,
cops highlights that you see on YouTube or on
Uh-huh.
Facebook are pretty funny though. Like so and so running around naked and afraid,
Yeah.
getting arrested. It's kind of funny. All right, so this is sort of the meat and potatoes of the show. The discussion on the Cardi B date rape.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, are we calling it proof, allegations,
Well, she
allegedly?
admitted to
it.
Okay, all right. So
She came out on live and was like, yo, you don't know how I grew up. I had to rob men, date rape them to survive.
She would rob them, drug them,
Yeah.
and sometimes throw a tranny.
The
in
back
middle.
page hustle.
so this is
The back page hustle.
I think, and what I think she was trying to do is because Cardi B is very much someone who keeps it real, is true to her
Yup,
culture,
for
true to how
sure.
she was raised. She doesn't give a fuck, which I think is great. I think there should be more people who are in that emboldened and that confident to be able to present the story the way it really happened, right? But on the flip side, if a man were to come out and to say that they were doing this,
Me too.
we don't need to go into how many.
Me
and,
too.
and I don't want to make this a big sexist, like, oh, fuck the women, fuck the men.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it is a very, as far as from an observational standpoint, I mean, she's fucking winning Grammys. She's making hundreds of millions of dollars. And this by no means ended her career. You know what I mean? And then you have others who would have come out and be like, oh, yeah, I drugged. You would, first of all, you'd be fucking arrested. They wouldn't just like, oh, yeah, like that was something on Twitter that happened 20 years ago. Like you would be investigated
Yeah.
and you would be charged. So it's interesting to see. And like, bro, if you're growing up, I think she's from the Bronx or wherever she's, originally from. And like you have to do what you have to do to get by. Whether that's selling dope, pimping women or drugging fucking Johns to get by, like
To an extent. Yeah.
culturally, like this is what they know, and this is the behaviors that they gravitate towards. The people who are doing it before them, that's the example that they're setting. And like, if you don't know any better, like who am I to fault you for that? But at the end of the day, like it is a very interesting discussion that someone who's so prominent today, she's like the biggest pop star in the
She
world
just won
right
Grammys.
now. Like to be able to come forward with something like that is
Well, she didn't. This was
It was old.
this
They
was
dug it up.
2 or 3 years ago that
Yeah.
she did this live, and somebody pulled it up.
So
So
they
she
pulled
wasn't
the
out
clip.
there.
So they pulled
saying,
the
yeah. So I mean, it's
Just
what
what
you're talking
Cosby
about.
shit was pretty old. Michael Jackson, that's old. It's like why does she get a pass?
Well, look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden hasn't even, and I'm not a Joe Biden fan by any means, but Joe Biden, the vice president, ex-vice president, he's just a cuddly person. He touches people, and he's on their shoulders, kisses them on the cheek, and he's going through hell right now. Like, he might have to...
Bro, he's grabbing babies by their crotch.
Dude, you grab baby... Dude, it's a baby.
That's not
He
how
has
you grab
diapers
babies,
on.
bro. That's not how you
But he
grab
has
babies.
diapers on. It's not like he's filling up the baby, bro. He's holding the baby.
Why would you grab? I know, but it's just a weirdo. He needs to be checked.
I gotcha. He might... But is that as bad as fucking drugging fucking
No.
dudes? That's what I'm saying.
And
And how
robbing
much
and
shit
taking their
he's
money.
getting, and taking their money and setting them up with trannies, so she could like.
I feel like if you're exploring into that world, the back page and all that, like you that could happen, and you almost like signing up for it,
But I don't think
that
it was all
risk,
back page.
like,
Like
you know
what
that-
I was reading is she did this just to people she knew, even like she was just scamming.
It's a hustle.
Yeah.
It's a hustle.
Yeah.
I mean, earmuffs. If my girlfriend's listening to this, but I've had this happen to me.
Oof.
Like in Vegas, single Vegas, you do what you got to do, and you want to have fun, and you make that call, whether it's Backpage, Craigslist, whatever, And like, dude, like you learn over time that you have to lock your fucking valuables up. That's just part of the fucking game.
Oh, yeah.
It's par for the course.
Yeah.
For your watch to go missing, your fucking pinky rings to go missing, to fucking every fucking valuable in there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm participating in this fucking behavior, right? I'm a willing participant to a certain extent, but then like that's the other half of the tracks, right? That's the other side of the tracks, is that like you're now signing into this agreement that like, okay, maybe my shit will go missing, maybe I'll fucking get something even way crazy happen, like getting drugged and all this other shit, you know. And it's just wild. And I think from a debate standpoint, it is a very interesting topic because of the double standard. You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm not excusing her behavior. I'm not excusing Bill Cosby's behavior or anyone who's fallen into that category as of late, but there's a lot of them, and it's a fucking witch hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for someone to be winning Grammys to have
imagine they dug up.
this
Yo,
is
listen,
pretty wild.
listen. I think my email was hacked like a week ago. Okay, imagine they, and this gets into your AI. Like, imagine people can dig up your past and use it against you, especially how crazy we were. I mean, you could get me. I don't even know what I did.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? I know
You
some
mean with
things.
like
Like,
chicks?
I don't know, just anything, just things that I've said. Like, I don't know, you know.
Oh, like an email or a
I-
text
yeah,
message
whatever.
or- yeah.
Dick pics.
Like, I don't want to be dick pit. Like, where does it go? This cloud? Like,
Where does it go?
You know,
My dick's out there somewhere. For
I would
sure.
never run. Like, I don't want. I'd rather be rich than famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
You know who said that?
No.
Migos.
So the Cardi B thing is obviously, it's wild just to hear someone to be talking so openly about that, but like, you know what, fucking at the end of the day, she's staying true to who she is, and I think she's telling the story. It may, like, that's the truth, right? She's telling the story that like, yo, this is really how it is out here, and to be able to survive and to thrive, you have to fucking do some grimy shit.
I think someone's saying, where's the line drawn? I think if someone came out and was like, yo, she did that to me, she would get in trouble.
You
But
think
there's
so?
no, I think so, right?
I mean,
If you come out and you're like, yo, you got me, and then you prove it, and yeah, I think she would get in trouble.
you would hope so.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
I just want it to be, not that it will ever be an even playing field or by any means. Men make more and women. We're not there yet, clearly. But you'd like to think if someone came forward and said that happened to me, here's the proof, that she would be charged. Not because I don't like her music, and not because I don't understand that she's being true to herself and her culture and her past, but because that's just the way it should be. That's what's fair.
Yeah.
That like, if you fuck people over, you should get in trouble, and if you're a nice person, you should get further in life.
I was just thinking, we did rent a house in Rehoboth Beach after high school, I want to
Shout out
say.
Rehoboth.
Yeah, this was crazy. It was an octagon beach house. And I want to say, I believe we had ran out of like Molly, shrooms, all that. And there was a kind of an outsider. We didn't do well with outsiders who was there. And we hung him over the balcony. It's almost like a movie with like shaking his pockets out until he confessed on where the drugs were. So I'm sure I could probably get in trouble for that. You know,
that's on YouTube.
Like we were literally hanging this kid.
Who did that? What's his name?
WRS-DBC style. Shut up.
Didn't you do that to
Shouldn't
Vanilla
that over here?
Vanilla
It was like
Ice?
that. I mean, it was only a second floor, but we were like, yo, where are they? Rabid.
Yeah,
So it happens.
absolutely.
Rabid.
I try not to go into too much
Punk-ass white
specifics
kids hanging
into
people over
my,
the balcony.
my criminal
Yeah.
entrepreneurial pursuits as a
Oh,
young
we were
adult
bad.
and adolescent.
Me and my boy Carlos. Oh my god.
Carlos, shout
We
out
robbed
Carlos.
houses. We
He's
did
like,
all
statute of
sorts of crazy
limitations is
shit.
probably up on her crimes by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, if you're gonna come forward, you better make sure that statute of limitations is run out. No statute of limitations on murder though. So don't kill anyone and tell anyone about it, unless you want to go to jail and pay your price to society. So yeah, the Cardi B thing. We got into Game of Thrones. What?
No, someone just wrote, that was the night DC slapped people in the face with frozen burgers. You're right. Someone was there.
Someone was there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I heard about it at least.
We won't say his name live on the
Oh
stream.
my god.
Jamie, you were there. That's a night we were all thankful wasn't filmed. Thank you for not being famous.
Oh my god, yeah, she was there. That was crazy. Wow. Well, confirmation.
Confirmation. This isn't just bullshit we're
Yeah.
making up. All right, so we're about 46 minutes in. Should we get into the the love and relationships.
Yeah, let's get into love and
always come
relationships.
back to
How do
love
you
and
keep that
relationships.
fire?
We always come back to love and relationships on the Lost in the Sauce
Woo!
show. It's titillating, it's exciting, it's somewhat edgy. But tonight's topic, we wanted to touch a little bit on how you keep the fire alive in a long-term relationship. So, behind the scenes, Bill, you're front and center, and you are indeed in the longest-term relationship of the three of us sitting here. And you've probably had more in the past. How do you keep the fire alive? How do you get creative?
This is so fucked up.
No. Again, okay, whoever doesn't know.
Is it possible, Bill?
Of course it's possible. It's very difficult when you're in my situation.
How
right
long
now.
have you been with your wife? I just want to ask a
Almost
question.
5 years.
Okay. How long have you been married?
Almost 5 years.
Is the fire still burning?
No.
So what do you do?
So,
So I'm
does
sure-
it go out and in?
That's
Like,
what I'm
'cause
saying.
I know you
Well,
love your wife. Like, does it go out?
the love's there. The sexual part isn't there as much right now because we have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, and now it'll start getting a little better. You know.
Why? Because he's getting older?
Well, the first 2 years is very rough. Yeah, he still sleeps in our bed with us.
Yeah.
He's still in his mom's tit.
Yeah.
So it's different. You know, we have a guest bedroom that's where we have sex. And it's when he goes to sleep, but she has to put him to sleep, so she falls asleep half the time. So it's you know, it'll get there once we start having a steady babysitter and stuff like that. I expected this. In the first 2 years. That's what happens.
What's the maternal bond?
Yeah.
You know, mother and son or
they're
mother
gonna
and child.
have that. I'm the odd man out right now, and I accept it. And that's something I realized was going to happen, and I accepted that. You know, all that. So yes, I will start getting it. Like me and my wife before we had our baby, very sexual people. We did everything.
But is it cyclical? Is it like fire, boredom, fire, like reinvigorating, or has it always been pretty steady?
For 2 of the years, I was doped up, so that didn't help. You know, little guy wasn't always working as well as should have. But then I gotta say, when I got out of rehab, yeah, it was like every.
Did people know that you were doped up? Like, because you're like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. And just no one had the balls to
no,
call you out, and they
what,
thought you could manage it.
I don't know if everybody knew I was high. My wife now realizes,
Yeah.
you were fucked up. But I kept to myself. I didn't have to rely on anybody.
Yeah.
So I had my own business. I was working. I did that. So nobody saw me.
What about like holidays, like family gatherings and social
You
stuff?
put it together?
Yeah, I would try, but I'd be sweating my ass off, and
Oh,
that's what
God,
they'd always say. You're
sweating was
sweating. I'm
crazy.
holding my kid. I'm like, because I'm carrying this fucking kid around, so I'm sweating. And
Yo, that sweat is crazy.
yeah. So yeah, there's giveaways. You know, at the time people don't realize, but
Yeah.
when you look back, you're like, dude,
Oh,
you
the
just
sweat.
fucked
The
up.
sweat's a dead giveaway. My buddy said he went golfing once with his father-in-law, and it's like 95 degrees at like Newport Country Club. He's just drenched in sweat. The dad's like, "Yo, buddy, are you okay?" Like just sweating his ass off because he's going through shit.
Yeah.
It's also 95 degrees. You'd be like, oh,
No, but it's just
hot
like
out.
it's more. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
dude, you're
profuse.
sweating because something's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like we need to talk.
Dude, my big protocol is that I've always been fairly slender, just like my whole life.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I'm getting loaded, that becomes exacerbated. It's much more noticeable. I'm still slender, but like when I'm dope slender, it's like a difference, right? And you got
Yeah.
the death in the eyes.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would go to the tanning salon and make sure that I had a real nice color tan because I've been sitting indoors for the past fucking 6 months or whatever the hell. I hadn't even seen the light of day. So I would like get the tan going, get the hair cut, get it all nice so I could sort of like try to pass.
Oh yeah.
And be like, oh,
Buy a
I'm-
new outfit.
I'm good. And they're like, you're so thin. You're so
Yeah.
thin. You're so thin. And even now, even today, I still get it because like, oh, you look like you lost weight. And it like kind of fucks with me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like breaking it down. I'm like, are they saying that I look like I'm getting high?
Yeah.
Like, do they think I'm getting high? Like, do they not believe that I've been sober this long?
Yeah.
Like, I truly believe that I have family members that don't think that I'm sober. That not that I'm like fucked up and my life's a shit show like it was, but like that they don't believe that I've been sober that long without a slip. Like they'll still ask me like, not even a drink, no
Yeah.
weed, no nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. I'm like, I won't even take NyQuil, and they're like, really? And they're like, and then I'll see them the next year. Not even a drink, not even
Yeah.
nothing. I'm like, I won't even take NyQuil. They're like, whoa, you know, like they just don't believe me,
Yeah.
and like that's It is what it is.
I
Honestly,
still fuck with NyQuil.
bro, I had to do a lot of work around that because
Yeah.
it was like an insecurity of mine. I was like, you know what? Fuck them, dude. If I not fuck them like they're bad people, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if that's their perspective and their opinion on me, then that's their prerogative. I know when my head hits the bed that like I have that integrity and the actions and all of the proof I need to help keep myself sane. Like I don't need to sit out there and take a pee test every fucking 6 hours so people get off my back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's going to be part of it. You know, when we have these stories and we have all this crazy manipulation, lies, cheating, all that shit going on in the past, we're going to have to put together a significant amount of action to prove that we've changed.
Yeah.
Because the person that they knew was a scumbag.
Yeah.
And who might have fault them for being like, yo, are you still a scumbag? I'm like, no, I'm not. I changed. And they're like, are you sure? You know what I mean? It's sort of, for everyone to kind of come full circle, it's going to take time. So yeah, so another thing I wanted to ask you, Bill, about the love and relationships is like in the past, maybe not in your current relationship now, but I'm sure you've
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, it's a good question.
So I think the real question here is, how do you keep the fire alive when you two are going through tough times?
That's a good question.
So, speaking for myself, I'm not at a point now where I've become bored as far as intimacy in the relationship I'm in now, but I have been in relationships in the past where we've sort of plateaued. I wouldn't say like I'm not into it or there's no fire, but sort of it became routine, and because it was so routine, it became a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of kind of being like, all right, let's get this over with, like kind of that mindset. And so what we did is we sort of kind of like had a conversation, not like, oh, I'm bored with you sexually, not like offensive, but we're like, hey, what if we tried this? Just sort of bringing new things to the table that we hadn't done together, be it like role playing or costumes or bondage or whatever the hell it was, or new positions. Or, you know, some girls don't do, you know, anal sex, so like introducing something else, or oh, let's have a threesome. Although I've never had one. I've had plenty of conversations about having one while in a relationship. It's just never fucking happened. But like sort of getting back to that discussion. But the thing is like who brings it up? Like being comfortable enough with your partner to be like, you know what? We could do more, or like I'm looking for more. Like it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of awkward. But that's sort of how I approached it in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of asking you the same question. Is there any feedback from like maybe past relationships where they've been more cyclical, or what have you done in the past to keep the fire alive?
Nothing. I never kept the fire alive.
Give me some content, Bill.
I hate to say it. No, I'm a selfish person.
So you just end the relationship and go to another one?
Yeah, the longest relationship I've ever been in was 7 years.
That's a pretty fucking long time.
And yeah, that ended, and that was it.
So the fire was alive all 7 years?
Oh no, but you just get content with just being with somebody, and you're like, okay, cool. And yeah, I got to change that about myself, because yeah, that's when you start looking other places and stuff like that.
So you didn't actually make the adjustment to reignite the fire?
We did. We try to have threesome.
There you go.
Stuff
okay.
like
so
that.
This is what I'm talking. This is what the question I'm asking.
But no, because it kind of screwed me. She ended up turning to a lesbian.
Nice.
Now she's married to a woman.
What happens?
So I kind of fucked myself on that, I think. But no, it's hard to keep. It's impossible to keep what you. The first 6 months, and I told my wife this. The very first 6 months we're together, I said, "This is the best you're going to get of me. This is the best of me you have. Enjoy it. This is never going to be this good again." And now
that's love. I love the honesty.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's essentially very true.
This is the best. So remember this. You know, when you hate me, just remember I could be this. I'm not that, but I could be.
My potential's
My
here,
potential's yeah, exactly. So,
I think you believe that when you say it, but that's not true. Because I think you versus 6 months ago, you're a much more evolved person. I've known you since a year ago. I think you may believe that, but that's just not the case.
But as hard as I try, is what I'm saying, really. As hard as I'm trying to impress her, as hard as I'm trying not to fart when I'm around her, not to take a shit around her, not to do these things. Now, I'm farting on her head. I'm taking a shit while she's sitting there.
But those are the little things. You also had a fort built in the backyard your first 6 months, and now you don't. You know, you also like...
Yeah. No,
you're
being sober.
You're present when you're with her. Like,
being
you're around
sober,
the kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a much better person. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit.
No, I'm not even talking
opinion.
shit about me. I'm just talking about how much I try to impress her.
Yeah.
How much I'm trying to be a better person around her. In the first 6 months of a relationship, you're not even who you really are. You're still trying to be someone you think she wants you to be. You're not being yourself completely.
You're in your best behavior.
You're in your best behavior 100%.
Yeah.
And once that goes out the door, it's hard to try to get that back. But hopefully she just accepts you for who you are, and then you guys are cool. And again, I'm working on getting me and my wife's sex life back up, and we don't get to go out. We don't get to do anything right now, so it's hard. So once we're able to take a vacation together, where it's just me and her and the kids at grandma's or something, then things will change. But until then, these are things, if you ever think about having kids, that you have to think about. Your life is over. It's all about your kid's life and your wife. It's not about you anymore. Mm-hmm. That might sound horrible because there's great things about that, but for a selfish person like me, yeah, there's a lot of negatives that come with it. 100%. It's scary. I can't just get up and go to Cancun tomorrow. Why? Because I have to watch my wife and my kid. And if I can't go to Cancun, my wife has to come with me. That can't happen because we have a kid. So it's my wife. Your individual life is over.
It's just getting to the point of accepting that this is a family now, and that my wants and desires are going to be secondary to what the group's wants and desires.
And that's hard.
Getting back to the question that was asked, I think in times when you're going through it, there's a huge opportunity for growth in the relationship. You know, just on a mental level. So like, and the ego has to be put aside, and I'm just learning all this. So like, if you sit down and have a thoughtful, vulnerable conversation, that leads to the better sexual stuff that I found, and you connect and you grow, and that's the whole point of being in a relationship, is to grow, and you come out almost a little stronger. Like, it sucked for 3 days, you want to kill her, and then like you actually talk about it, and it's like, well, this is what I was going through, and where are you at with it, and come out of it. And it's different. We didn't grow up with these tools. But like, to come out of that, I think it builds a stronger relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, like on the mental tip.
Emotional intimacy.
Yeah, emotional, because the girls love it. Like, if you could sit down in front of them, like, hey baby, I'm feeling this type of way, and I just want to know how you are feeling about this, and just want to see kind of where you're coming from, and how we can move forward.
And actually actively hear them out. Yeah.
Bro, I'm doing it. Shit's crazy. And because my goal is to have an extraordinary relationship. Like, I don't want to just be in a like, I want to have an extraordinary, and so far I have that, and I want to keep it going. But you definitely bump into tough times.
How long have you been together?
We've been going on like 6 months. Known each other for about a year. We started dating 6 months
What's
ago.
the longest relationship you've been in?
4 years.
4 years. Did you have any of this stuff come up as far as getting bored, stagnant, plateau, keeping the fire alive, so to speak?
Maybe a little bored, but not super bored. Like, you know, but my values were all different. You know, I didn't listen, or I didn't hear and understand anything that the opposite sex ever really told me. Yeah, it was just like my way, this way.
It's very traditional way of thinking. Yeah, old school. You could say. Yeah, old school. Like, the man's way is the way things are going to be done, and like, I want to be with a woman who accepts that, and all that.
One more question. Have you ever thought about giving a pass for the two of you to explore sexually outside of the relationship, to change it up, and then come back?
So the hall pass.
And discuss things.
So the hall pass.
Hell no.
Bill, you want to go?
Fuck that.
Bill, you want to go?
My wife gave me a hall pass to have sex with a sex robot. That's about good. Would I do that? I'm too insecure for that.
Yeah.
I would I do it? Me do it? Yeah. Would I want my wife to do it? No.
Yeah, exactly.
But do I think that would probably work for some people? 100%. 100%. And it's different. I don't know if she means a hall pass. You have to go out and meet somebody or go get a hooker. If you get a hooker, then that's just sexual. Cool. You get your sex out. Yeah. That's fine. And I think massage parlors and all that are probably great for marriages. I think all that is important because guys aren't looking for. Most of them are just looking for something sexual when they go out and cheat. The physical. They don't care about the emotional part. They just want something different, something new. That's what we used to call it. Yeah, I need some new.
But what happens? Like, if you just jerk off, you're good. You ever notice that? Like, if you get you just jerk off and you're like, God, and you don't want to do anything.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just gotta like get rid of it.
Absolutely.
Just have
Get
that
rid of the
conversation.
poison, bro.
The poison.
I just
You know?
had that conversation. Yes.
Just
that,
and then you're like, oh, I was gonna call her. Like, what?
100%.
Bro, they
Go
got
on.
like a full view of my fucking. Let's get the fucking the koalas on the.
Do
cliff.
not share your wife or girlfriend.
I can speak on it a little bit. I've never been given a hall pass. I've never even had a conversation about getting a hall pass. But my perspective on it is that very similar to what Bill said. Is that do I think it would be great for me to get a hall pass? Like, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but can
Final
she get a
Fantasy
hall
12.
pass?
Yeah.
No. But another important part of the question was, and then come back and have a discussion
Yeah,
about it.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a situation, say I've been married 30 years and we're talking hall passes, and
Different.
the last thing I want to know is the fucking nitty gritty details. All right.
Oh.
If we're having a hall pass, like I'm gonna do me, and I'm not gonna come back to you and be like, oh, I had a great date with so and so. Like that's so fucking offensive.
Yeah.
And if you're doing you, and like I've signed up for that, like I don't want to hear about your date with so and so either. I think that would be something that is just beyond my emotional, like intelligence, that I could just grasp that and be open-minded enough to be like, well, no, let's talk about it. Was it good? Was it bad? What did we learn?
God.
I couldn't do it.
Crazy.
I most definitely couldn't do it. But I think it's important because there's a lot of biology that works against the idea of monogamy. This is scientific stuff that you can pull up any fucking article you want.
100.
That go against the nuclear family that we know from the 1950s of, you know, mom, dad works, mom cooks, 2.5 kids, dog, white picket fence. There's some like biology that tells men like, yo, this isn't the way. And it's not just all men, and it's not just all women too that are this way. There are exceptions to the rule on either side, where women are going to have a more masculine, that more that appetite, that sexual appetite that needs to be diverse and frequent, whatever, right? So I think it would be nice to be in a relationship where if this does come up, I don't freak out.
Yeah.
And I'm like open to it. And I'd like to think that I'm there now, but who knows? But yeah, sometimes like long term, that stuff's kind of scary. You know, it's scary to even think about. That like I would be like, you know what, fuck, I would rather be with someone else after being with the person you're with for 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, you don't just like hop into the dating pool and like your whole life has changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point. But the 70s, I mean, I know that like the people I was raised by participated in this behavior. I've talked to a lot of my friends' parents who participated in stuff like that. You had the whole swinger parties and cocaine everywhere in the
Newport was
early
rocking.
80s. And
Newport, they were sharing wives.
you know what I mean? I don't want to start calling out names,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I've heard
no.
stories about how Newport
The
was.
jacuzzi pool scene in
Yeah.
Newport in the 80s. Can you
Mhm.
imagine?
You take your car keys, put them in a fucking, and
Yo.
that's just what it was.
Fire.
And there's some great relationships that lasted through that time
Yeah.
period, and there's some
Yeah.
relationships that fucking crumbled because of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess we sort of take each other where we're at, you know,
Yeah.
and see the best way to navigate something like that. With that being said, is any other last points you guys want to make before we wrap it up?
No, I'm good. I just, I'm a little old school. I have a lot of faith in the current relationship that I'm in, and I'm gonna give it the whole non-sharing the wife.
Yeah.
You
for
know,
now,
like
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna try and ride out.
Yeah.
Old school, show that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Good man.
Yeah.
Bill.
Good man. I'm in it.
So yeah, with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and wind down the show. I just want to talk to the audience directly. So last week we had a great show. If you weren't there, you didn't catch it. I honestly don't even fucking. Oh, we're talking about boundaries and and helping others and manipulative people in addiction, someone you know, love, all that. And
don't trust them.
we got a lot of good feedback off camera and behind
yeah.
the scenes that was anonymous, and people got a lot from that show. So for those of you who are watching and tuned in, we appreciate the interaction, and that's really what this is here for. Obviously we like shooting the shit and talking about Game of Thrones and hall passes and all that, but at the end of the day, it's 3 guys who've gotten their lives together from being in very, very opposite circumstances, on death's doorstep, shooting dope and hoping to die, to now living very fulfilling and purpose-filled lives. So if we can help each other as a community to be able to do that together, that's really what we've created the Lost in the Sauce show for. So I want to thank you guys directly for all your guys' input. If you have ideas for segments, questions, comments, concerns, or individual situations you want just someone to talk to about, we don't even need to, tell you what to do. But if you want someone to talk to, I mean, the three of us are here. The page is there. If you guys want to send a message anonymously, you can on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Chris, what's all the plugs? What's Lost in the Sauce Show? You want to?
Lost in the Sauce Show on Instagram. Chris Shabo is my personal. I'm on Twitter too.
YouTube is the same.
YouTube is Lost in the Sauce Show.
Bill, how about you?
Come check out House of Pawn in North Hollywood, or you can go to our website, nohopon.com.
Nohopon.com, the first official sponsor of the Lost in the Sauce Show. Although we haven't actually received any goods or services from
Yeah.
My mic.
Bill's mic is on the house.
And my bike.
And your bike. And your surfboard.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I, as the host of the show, have not felt the love from NoHo Pawn.
I got plenty
Although,
of
if
love.
you
I'm
need
wait-
to pawn something,
I'm waiting for the
please go there.
MacBook to show up.
But thank you guys for tuning in, man. We love the continued support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We got giveaways at all the big milestones, 100, 500, 1,000, all the followers and all the likes and all that stuff. So we'll be able to do some cool giveaway stuff for the community. And then also the lifestyle piece. We're going to be getting into skydiving. We got all the surfing stuff coming up, all the golf. If you guys want to get involved in your local, feel free to reach out and we can make it happen. With that being said, Killshot California, behind the scenes Bill, Chris Shabo, we love you guys. We are out.
Peace.